Wow.
I told you.
I mean, yeah, but when you said big...
I meant big?
Yeah, but... I mean, how big is it actually?
It doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, figures.
If you tried to measure the diameter, it'd probably only be a half a mile or so. But the curve doesn't work quite right. If you stayed in the same spot and just hopped on a horse and let it carry you around, it might be days before you pass the same spot.
Or you might never see the same spot again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to get it.
Good.
But you said we needed to go through these places. Is that even going to work here?
You need to go through them, metaphorically. Psychologically, we need to experience them.
You think we could get that experience just walking along the edge? Because I really don't like the look of those riders.
Would you believe me if I said they were victims?
At this point, I'm not even surprised.
Either way, best not to actually climb onto the thing if we can help it.
Fine by me. Never really liked merry-go-rounds anyway.
No? Gone on any recently?
What? No, I don't think so. Not since I was a kid.
There's a one at London Zoo. Was one at London Zoo. Big old thing. Went quite fast, actually. Surprisingly thrilling. What?
Seriously?
It was years back before the Institute. I was in a weird place. Had a good time, though.
Well.
I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to ride this one. We've got quite enough thrills.
Are you sure? I could speak to an attendant.
I would advise against doing that.
So you said the riders were the victims. Where's the monster?
I'm hoping if we're quick, we can avoid her.
John, please don't tell me there's an evil clown doll down there. Because...
No. Nicola died with the unknowing. It's an old friend.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd rather not deal with her if we can avoid it.
Yeah, good call. In that case, do you want to do your thing now then, before we start moving? Are we close enough?
Yes. I think so. Good idea.
Thanks.
You, might want to take a bit of a walk. This feels like a strange one.
What does strange mean with something like this?
Don't think you want to know.
Good point. Okay, well, good luck. I'll be, over there.
Your face is not your face, is not your face. Around the circling carousel it twists in place to take from you all the tattered, stolen souls whose sense of me is swollen and descend into nothing. Round and round and round it goes, it deigns to stop. Who you might be you cannot know. So touch and feel the skin atop your skull to test the limits and extremities of where this canvas comes to rest. It robs identities and peeling names that you could swear were never yours. The music swells through you. The music vomits from you. The music calls a name that through tears of half-grasped memories seem almost and entirely familiar. So dance. Dance to the beat of the thump of the chase of the still and plastic horse hooves which cannot break from where they are secured by bolts and glue and eggshell-thin reality that paints a visage of sense, almost enough to tell you that the nausea that swells and pushes at the limits of your mind is incorrect. There's nothing wrong. The world in which the carousel will twirl is not the hollow hell you fear. It is the world. Just the world. A world where you have wished to have it named. It must be stolen, carved, and pulled full-bloodied from the frame of others who would wish in vain to hold their selfness close. You want a face? Take it. There's so many here, and those who cannot hold them, well, whoever chose to give them such a gift must take the blame, knowing they could never keep it in a world of so much thieving strangeness. And soon enough they will forget they have ever even had one. Rest assured, it's best to step the dance and keep your face secured as much as you are able. Just keep running. Your feet, or they just shoes with emptiness within, will pound upon the creaking wood of the carousel top, or perhaps the only ground there's ever been. So struggle not to look behind, though. Can you trust your eyes to tell quite what it might be that dogs your steps with the poor progression of those gory, faceless wretches who have lost possession to all their treasured wants, identities, to those who are now them, like you? You tire of the chase, of course, the fire, and all the relentless pace of competition, reaching for a name, identity, a face that has long since worn through all reserves of hard, enduring vigor in you. Yet, still, you only stay a self while willing on your aching legs that feel like breaking just to keep you forward in the frenzied fray of hazy clod. Who are yous? So run, just run, and listen to the music of your panicked flight from those who long to take what you have stole, from those no longer worth a name. Ever onwards, forward, on the curling path of the merry-go-round that twists, wound, and spinning in the harrowing sound of organ-piping circus tunes that merrily hound the steps of your escape. But you turn a thought and burn your lead of your pursuers, an angle changed in a charge of now perpendicular to your intended line of best retreat, and stake it all on one last hope, your bruised feet pounding to the edge, the boundary. Don't stop the ride, but you still want to get off. But no, for all the dreams of bounding, leaping off into the great unknown, you see the ring of broken, mewling wretches who have shown the sting that comes with such rejection of the truth, so seldom spoken, yet inside you all, that there is no way off the merry-go-round. So perhaps the twirling round that pushes all who passenger the carousel might help you stay ahead. And so you seize the rough and peeling pole of an ancient wooden horse, ignoring the slawing, screaming wood that comes away in clumps and grips the saddle hard in hands that should be clean, but now I've never seen a day they were not caked in glue and soaked with blood of all the robberies existence deems they only way to live. Ride away. Just ride away. Up it goes, down it comes. Hold fast to joy of the rise, despise all the thoughts you might descend, and in the end protest against the fall back down to the painted wooden spiraling earth. All the tear-streaked grasping and all the mess of gasping still unnamed oppressed. Cry to the horse, go higher, faster, offer painted apples that you think perhaps it might desire, but its frozen face is still the same, a simple cast of equine terror, framed and caught in the wood and plastic bulging eyes of fear. Pace remains as it ever was. It doesn't care for coming pains as you are torn. Does it know who you are? No. And soon neither will you. Although to call it all is lost is more dramatic, yes, than it has been earned. For those upon this carousel who have not been you already, perhaps they know without a memory how good it is to have a face and a name. It's not the same as what you had when you first climbed the brightly painted stairs, but not the worst who you have been. And as the horse drops through the air into the crowd of eager, waiting thieves, you are unborrowed and, yes, afraid, but still the music plays and turns the world upon its gaudy axis. You will be someone again, someday. The hands and fingers reach and breach the gentle, veiled complexity and respite that had been yours upon your mount's ascent, and now the wood is bent and borrowed as faceless things who long to be a who pull splinters from the rot of screaming saddle of a rider. You feel the mask of sharp and hard identity begin to gently fracture into jagged shards of names that you once were. I'm still Hannah, you try to scream, but are you? No, perhaps some Veronica as fragments there, or Julian, or Anya, but no, you feel the last of names and who you might have been be torn away and born towards new bodies, new pages, blank, determined to be people. The rotten, ragged rush of fetid fingernails that dig and push and reach around the edges of your face until they scrape against the bone. It's in such a rough, scratched tone, the rocks and echoes through the space that was your mind. And when they peel it from you, like the skin of an orange, the skin of an apple, the skin of a pig, the skin of a child, the skin of a you. And comes briefest flash that surely now it's done, so perhaps the pain will be somewhat lessened. There's no way it could hurt as much as you remember, but it does, and so of course you scream and curses foul. Obscene will tumble guarded over where once sat other people's lips, of yours now gone the teeth, and once shone yellowed ivory or crimson and flowing saccharine flowed. And as you lie in agonies, the fading dreams of personhood, of knowing who you were and what you might have meant, you hear the bitter whisper of recomrating seekers who have found the treasure of their eager dreams, but see, it seems there's not enough for all. And so they fall to frantic tearing conflict, just as vicious as it was when it was bearing down on you. You lie in the fuge of vivid pain and feel the gentle rain from violence overhead. Some fall dead or close as this place lets you lie, for truly, thus to die would be too eager an escape. And listen to the ebbed and swollen, slow, melodic wail that, well, you know conducts the flowing rhythm, laced into this endless faceless dance. At last, a victor breaks away in clinging, heartfelt terror of his former comrades, sprinting bold and holding to his skull the severed face that was once yours, willing it to stick to those who noticed, to try and pick themselves back up and give pursuit to try and close the gap. Perhaps you should arise and follow on the things that once you would despise but now have joined. You are, of course, a faceless thing as well, and so should quickly match the pace of those who chase the self-same prey. But now it's too late. They've gone. Their chase will not abate until their former friend is ripped apart in turn, and you have learned to wait. For their many faces out upon the carousel and many names that you might be, so bid your time. A while and wait the coming of the another whose fate and face might sit upon your grinning carved skull. So turn with the turn of the merry-go-round and dance to its jolly old song. Who will you be, with a name or three, and a stranger's face worn wrong? End recording.
You're joking.
I'm not.
So was it any good?
What do you mean?
Was it a good poem?
I don't know. No, you're the poetry expert, Martin, not me.
Did it stir any feeling in you?
Yes, nausea, because of the horrible things in it.
Quite what I meant.
Then I don't know what you mean, Martin. I'm not a poetry person. I don't get it. I never have.
That's fine. I understand.
Look, I'm better than I was. I used to think all poetry was bad.
Sorry, what?
I mean, I sort of thought it was pointless. Just write some prose and stop wasting everyone's time.
What changed?
I don't know. I just mellowed on it, I suppose.
That's kind of weird.
In my defense, there's a lot of bad poetry out there.
I guess. I kind of want to hear that tape now, see how artistic the stranger actually is.
Or just look up. See it for yourself.
No thanks. I'm trying to avoid thinking about it, actually.
Of course, sorry.
How much further?
I think we're past the worst of...
What?
She's here.
My dearest colleague,
Just get back.
I can't believe you decide to pass through my neighborhood and not say hello to dear old Sasha.
Just ignore it, Martin.
Oh, you wound me, Archivist. And we used to be so close.
I have nothing to say to you.
Nothing to say? Well, you crush me, bury me in the foundations of your little temple for a year, and now you have nothing to say.
Leitner did that, and Peter released you. All I've done to you is to not die.
Oh, and I would say that is quite rude enough.
Leave us alone. I won't warn you again.
And what if I let you choose this time? Which one of you would I wear next? Martin looks very comfortable, positively roomy. Or wouldn't you agree, Archivist?
John, do we need to run?
Oh yes, Martin, you very much do. I'll even give you a head start.
John?
You're bold. I'll give you that.
Last chance.
Desperate for one last morsel of terror from us? A final sip, and then we're gone. Somehow we managed to keep just ahead of you and get away. God forbid you actually catch us. Doesn't bear thinking about it.
John, what are you talking about?
She can't touch us. We're so far beyond her now, and she just like everything else here, ruled by the eye. And she hates it.
Of course you want to wallow in my shame like your voyeur master. Do you know how it feels to be anonymous and yet known? To have all the sweetest dread I can create tainted by the relentless gaze of that damned eye. Well, I've suffered enough.
Pathetic. Martin, let's go.
Just pathetic as your little friend when I ate her life.
What did you say?
I'm sorry.
John?
You were wrong, you know. There is more suffering than you can ever experience. So much more. The horror of your victims, their constant, senseless agony. Feel it now. Understand it. You have drawn out so much despair, and now, finally, it's your turn. Ceaseless watcher, turn your gaze upon this wretched thing.
Please, no!
Whoa! What was that?
I destroyed it. Killed her.
Are you kidding me? You obliterated her. You smoked her.
We should go.
What about the merry-go-round? With her gone, is it?
I don't know.
Yes, you did.
I don't want to know. We need to go. Please.
Oh, okay. All right. Lead on.